Hey, what's up everybody? It's Landon with LMR.com. It's that day of the week again. It's dyno day. You guys been doing great, leaving us comments on what you would like to see us dyno, so keep those coming, as we already have a pretty good list going for all your suggestions. So as time goes on, who knows, whatever you suggest, maybe we can meet that request. So the car we have on the dyno today, our 85 GT's back. If you haven't seen the stock dyno video for this car, I invite you to go check that one out. So the only change that has been made since that dyno video is we installed a Holley 600 CFM carb with vacuum secondary. Now this is the carburetor that we currently sell on the site, and this carburetor closely mimics or closely replicates the factory Motorcraft Holley carburetor that came on the car in 1985. So if you're in the market to replace that factory carburetor for whatever the reason may be, I would definitely suggest this Holley 600 CFM carb with the vacuum secondaries. Again, as it closely replicates and closely mimics that factory carb, and you don't need anything larger than a 600 CFM carb, especially on a stockish 302. This particular car here, other than the carburetor, it has an off-road mid-pipe and a catback exhaust. 410 gears in the rear end, instead of our 5.0 Resto 10-hole wheels with factory correct or period correct 225 60/15 gator back tires. This is a T5 1985 GT, so the horsepower or flywheel horsepower rating was 210 horsepower and 265 pound-feet of torque. So now we got all that good information out of the way. We're gonna make a quick trip around the car, make sure our straps are tight, lugs are torqued, y'all know the drill, and then we're gonna make it hit. All right, people, let's take a look at some numbers, but real quick before we do, if I didn't mention it, 93 octane fuel in the tank, and our timing is at 15 degrees, which is the same amount of timing that we had during our stock run. Numbers here with the Holley 600 CFM carb vacuum secondaries, 192.5 horsepower. If you want to round that up, call it 193. We can at 4,500 RPM. And as far as torque is concerned, we're looking at 251.3 pound-feet of torque at 3,600 RPM. That's just because we can, and we've already done it. Let's pull up our stock graph real quick and compare this carburetor to the factory carb, and then here you go. So the factory carb, 185 horsepower to the 192.5 from the Holley 600 CFM vacuum secondary carb, and then 248.7 pound-feet to 251.3 pound-feet of torque. So there you go, just a simple little carburetor out of the box, very little adjustment to it. We had a little bit more horsepower and a little bit more torque. By no means necessary were we putting this carburetor on to go chase all this horsepower and chase all this torque. We were putting this carburetor on the car to show you that you can still get a carburetor off of the shelf and still have great performance and great drivability. And that's exactly what we have here with our Holley 600 CFM vacuum secondary car. Now, if you're wondering, these little small dips here around the 3,400 RPM, 3,300 to about 3,700 RPM, that's your vacuum secondaries opening. If we wanted to smooth that out, we can, and more than likely we'll come back to that and we'll get that all dialed in. So there you go, guys. Glad we can bring this stuff to you. Hope you appreciated it. If you do, like the video, subscribe to our channel for more dyno videos, and turn on notifications. That way you're notified every time we release something new. And until the next time, I'm signing off. For all things Fox Body, keep it right here with the real enthusiast, LMR.com.